This is going to be pretty fast because I'm just practicing for a class. So hit pause and find a comfortable seat, sit asana, and we'll arrive with blooming lotus with our palms together at our chest, inhaling up until we reach up above our heads, and then exhaling down, tracing the petals of the lotus on the way down. Devotional Leia movement, nice and calm. Maybe watching your fingers trace the petals. And stretching with our left hand reaching down behind our back and our elbow reaching towards the sky and pulling. And then switch and reaching the right hand down the back. And then pulling our elbow. Palms together, fingers together, reaching for the sky. Drop your shoulders and reach. Right hand comes to the mat behind you, left hand to the sky, open your heart. And then left hand to right knee, exhale into a twist. Inhale, left arm to the sky, followed by your right arm, reaching both towards the sky. Drop your shoulders. Left hand comes to the mat behind you, open your heart. And then left hand to right knee, exhale into your twist. Inhale through center, right hand comes to sky, followed by left. Bringing them down behind your back, palms together, and drop your shoulders away from your ears. If you'd like to slight fold here, you can. Gently release your hands and bring them to your knees for some cat-cow motion seated, rounding the spine in and out. Maybe wiggling your toes in front of you on the mat one at a time. Twist those ankles, shake the shoulders, shake the wrists. Flick the fingers out, hit all those joints, warm up, raise your hands to the sky, drop your shoulders. We're going to do a kriya. So when we inhale, our arm is going to pop down and hit the side of the body, and then it'll pop back up, and we'll exhale, and the right hand will come down and hit the side of the body, and then it'll pop up, and we'll repeat. Traditionally, we do this kriya for 4 to 12 minutes. I encourage you to do so to release toxins and to build arm strength. If you have lymphatic problems, you may want to just air tap instead of body tapping. Same with autoimmune. Getting in one last round, reaching your arms for the sky, lock Mudra Bandha, the Kegel muscle. Hold your breath in that muscle in a lock for a moment. And when you're ready, release and bring your hands to your knees. Notice. If you're like me, throw in a little more cat-cow rounding here, and we'll come to standing at the back of the mat. We're preparing for a sun A, inhaling into our mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, walk into your plank, making sure that your joints are stacked so that your shoulders are over your wrists, lowering down chaturanga, knees, chin, and chest, up into upward facing dog and to downward facing dog. Nice spread fingers, elbows pointing towards our knees, nice V shape in the body, walking our feet to our hands, forward fold, inhaling up into our high mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your feet back into plank, stacking those joints. Exhale down to knees, chin, chest, chaturanga. Inhale up into upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Walking our hands to our feet, forward fold. Inhaling up into Tadasana mountain pose. Raising up for high mountain and hands down into prayer at chest center. Take some wiggles, shake it out, whatever you need to do between movements. We're going to stack a Tadasana, feet about hip width apart, or you topple, and cactus arms. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Making the folds as big as you like or as small as you like. You can just use your arms or your whole body. Exhale and forward fold. Let it hang, and then inhale up and weave. Celtic weave your hands around your body. You can do forward folds, back bends, side bends. Play with it, have a little fun, weave that aura. So many figure eights in our body. It enjoys it. Rolling ourselves up into high mountain, hands down to chest at heart center and prayer. Take any wiggles you want to take here. and wiggle them out. We're going to stack that Tadasana mountain pose again, either toes together, heels apart, or feet hip width apart. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, tuck in that tailbone, tuck in your chin, maybe pinkies tight to the body, facing towards the front of the room. And then inhale and raise those arms to the sky for a high mountain, letting the shoulders drop away from the ears again. We'll come into extended high mountain, so coming up onto our tiptoes, maybe seeing a drishti in front of you, a still point that you can gaze at while you're on your tiptoes, and coming back down into mountain, preparing for a forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Placing the left hand on the mat, bending the left knee deeply, reaching the right hand to the sky, open that heart again. Bring both hands down, wiggle your knees out. Right hand plants on the mat, left hand reaches for the sky, open that heart. Wiggle your knees, pedal it out. And then we're going to walk into our downward facing dog. Stacking your downward facing dog, pedaling it out again maybe. And then reaching your left foot up to the sky. See if you can keep even weight in your hands before stacking your hips and reaching your foot for the sky with stacked hips, even hands. Bring that foot back down, pedal it out, wiggle it out. Establish your down dog and reach the right foot up to the sky. Establish that your hands have been even weight distributed, and then stack your hips again with your foot to the sky. Bringing it down, pedaling it out, and coming into child's or table for a moment and taking a few free-form wiggles. Maybe some cat-cow now that we're in table, C-bends, wagging that tail like the blue dog, anything that feels good here. And then we'll thread the needle. Left hand comes under right armpit and only putting as much pressure on the shoulder as it can handle. Left hand reaching, right hand reaching up above your head. Establish that your hips are flat. And then if you like, you can place your right hand across your back, tapping it in your hip crease. If you still want more, you can reach out your right leg and establish a strong foot and balance here before coming back down to the mat, making sure that we bring our arm back and protect our shoulder on the way up. Taking a few quick wiggles before switching sides, and your right arm threads under your left, shoulder only going down as far as comfortable. Your left arm can reach out in front of you, and then if it still feels good, you can tuck it around your back in your hip crease. And if you still want more, you can reach your left foot out with a strong foot and balance, bringing your arm back down to the mat and really off of your shoulder before coming out. Taking a few quick wiggles, maybe some cat-cow, maybe wagging that tail again. And we're going to prepare to do table extensions. So left hand and right foot come up, making sure that the back is flat, and then elbow to knee. And then right hand and left leg come out, flat back, elbow to knee. Extending the right leg behind you and then rotating it out to the side in a kickstand and bringing the core up with strength in the core into a gate pose, looking up at your left hand as it reaches for the sky. Hands come back down, leg rotates back down, dip down if you like, and come back into your table. Doing a few wiggles, perhaps reaching the left foot to the sky, letting it rotate out into kickstand, using your core to lift you up into gate pose with your hand reaching for the sky, looking at your fingers, opening that side body, coming back down into table, rotating that leg back behind you and back into table. Maybe taking a few quick wiggles here, whatever feels good as we figure out what Sarah's going to throw at us next. We're going to come into tabletop and then tiger toes. So coming up on our toes, knees off the mat, and then touching one opposite knee at a time. So lifting your hand, touching left hand to right knee, right hand to left knee on your tiger toes. Easing it back down to the mat into child's pose, and then coming up cat-cow, doing some wiggles here, and we are going to come down into puppy. So our hips are above our knees and our hands in front of us, all the way down to the mat. Hands can be next to your hips or under your chin. Doing 3 leg lifts on each side. Make that booty cute. And then coming into T-arms, tapping left foot to the right side of your body, right foot to the left side of your body in a backwards supine. And then hands coming down to your side and pushing tight against your hips, inhaling up into lotus. Feet can be tightly pressed together all the way through your legs. Zip them together. Inhaling up into lotus, exhaling down. Either just lying flat, rocking your hips back and forth, imagining a hand putting gentle pressure on your back, releasing any tension, or reverse windshield wiper, letting go of any tensions here, little free form to wiggle it out. Preparing to come into infinity pose or Venusian sleeping pose. So rolling onto your left side. Hand can be anywhere comfortable supporting your neck. So if you're looking up, it might be a little bit further on the back of your neck. If you're looking straight forward, it might be more on your ear. Deciding what's most comfortable for you. Hand placed on your hip and supporting yourself in the side balance. And then you can also place your hand facing towards your chest and your elbow up. And then reaching one leg up towards the sky, strong feet, and down. And then reaching both feet to the sky and down. Both feet again, reaching up and down. One foot reaching up and down. And then we're going to come into cobbler's pose. Recline like this. Maybe a little mudra at your knees. Exhaling both feet down. And we'll place that hand back on the mat and see if we can put our calf to our upper arm and recline here. And then reaching the foot to the sky and letting it back down to the other one. Letting it come back behind your back and reaching for your foot for half bow. Trying to keep everything in a line behind you. And then maybe if you like grabbing your big toe and trying to straighten out for a big toe grab, maybe stopping through a bow and letting the leg come back down to the other one. Inhale that leg back up to the sky and then reach your calf for your upper arm and see if you can place it there with your hand on the mat facing towards your chest at about hip level. And reaching for the sky and letting it come back down to the other foot again. And we'll come onto our bellies so that we can come on to our other side, which should be our right, but just making sure it's the opposite side, doesn't matter. And setting up with our hands supporting our head and reaching that leg for the sky and back down, and then reaching both legs up together and down, and both legs up together and down one more time. And then coming into reclined cobblers, making that mudra maybe by our feet or holding our feet and returning legs down straight. Maybe placing that knee so that your calf can rest on your upper arm. Bring the leg down and then behind you into half bow. Reestablishing, maybe with the hand in front of you and lifting your leg up to the air and returning it back down. And then coming so that you can bring both hands behind you if this is comfortable in your shoulders, clasping your palms together. Do a little bit of a back bend and reach that foot to the sky. Careful here not to hurt your shoulder. Slowly returning back down, rolling onto your belly to come over to the other side. And we didn't do that on this side, so we're gonna roll over, do that, clasp the hands behind the back, a little bit of a back bend, and reach our foot for the sky, being careful of our shoulders here. This is a little bit precarious. We can always adapt into a different form. Rolling back on your belly to come back out and onto your side. And we're gonna come into seated position, finding a nice comfortable Siddhasana. And then let's go ahead and come over our knees from here onto tabletop, stacking with our wrists under our shoulders, knees under hips, and tabletop. Taking a few wiggles here, freeform it, cat-cow, sea bends, blue dog, and coming down into extended child's. up onto your elbows and rub your hands together before placing them on your face, holding, holding, and noticing the nice rest we can find here. And coming into down dog, so tucking our toes, activating the core, and walking to our hands and coming into Tadasana. Coming into half lift, nice straight flat back, hips level with the mat. And then we're going to turn it into a warrior three, hands at chest in prayer. Leg comes out behind you with a strong, straight, flat foot, trying to keep our hips flat with the mat. I tend to fall out when I try to flatten my hips. Coming down, wiggling it out, and planting so that we can come into halfway lift, straight, flat back, reaching out the other leg for warrior three, trying to keep our hips flat with the mat, and this time easing into warrior two. Straightening out with our hips level, arms out, gazing over the front, finger, knee over ankle. Checking knee over ankle, bringing your hands to prayer or chest, and going back and forth in crunches with elbow to knee, elbow to leg. Coming back, lift up that back foot before spinning, and then coming back into the other side so that we can do warrior three, coming back into warrior two on your other side, checking knee over ankle, hips are parallel with hands, looking over the front finger, hands in prayer at chest, and crunches with your elbows, alternating side to side. Lifting your back foot before spinning around to come back into standing. Maybe you want to pass through a warrior three on the way there, or let's do a toppling tree. Bend the front leg, the standing leg, bend the back leg, and bring the hands back. And when you finish, switch legs, bend your standing leg, bend your knee that's pointed back, and stick those arms and fists behind you. Whenever you've completed both sides, wiggle it out, and we'll come into Tadasana, or a little bit closer if you like, for sky and earth, pushing with both hands at the same time. One pushing to the sky and one pushing into the ground. Even, and think of alignment. Push, push, push. Switch hands, opposite hand pushing the sky, opposite hand pushing to the earth. And push, push, push. Exhaling into a forward fold and walking your hands so that your knees can come down, and we'll come into kneeling, hips over knees, and doing what I call flowing camel. So your hand can reach back for your opposite foot or same foot or leg, wherever it reaches. Nice and slow and gentle, not wanting to use jerky motions. Nice and slow and strong. Next time you come up, bringing your arms and legs into Garuda, eagle. So crossing one leg over the other and one arm over the other. And if you like, taking a back bend, going no further, then you can come back without having to swim out, using your core muscles and not swimming. Switching the cross of your legs and arms and deciding if you're going to stay here or take the little back bend on this side. Probably same as the other, at least attempting, weaving, or just slowly working our way into a child's pose for a moment. When you come up, deciding if you would like to try a full camel or maybe sticking to the flowing camel. Either way, tucking your toes under or keeping them flat to the mat. Coming out easily and slowly back into extended child's. Slowly rising back up and letting your legs come over to one side and your hips go to the other. Maybe lining up your shoulder under your wrist to ease your way down to the mat. Let your legs come in front of you. And we're preparing for the masculine and feminine balancing kriya, Hat Hari. Hands come with tip fingers on your shoulders. And when you turn left, you say hurry, and right, hot. And this is a deep, strong voice from your belly. Hot, hurry, hot, hurry. Taking your last couple rounds, extend your hands, grow love, bring them down, and notice. Hands at heart center. We're going to come into cobblers, drop our shoulders, feet together. Spread those legs out and do a little hula hoop. This is good for bending. Sufi churn, remembering which thumb's on first. Churning, exhale, turn. Swapping directions, maybe thumb that's on top, turning. And then making a little hula hoop. Fold through center. Try to hinge at the hips and go down just a little bit and do a few crunches, folding and up, folding and up. And then side to side flow, fold to one side, flow and fold to the other, seeing if you can keep your tailbone down. And with your help of your hand, bringing your leg into the other, fold. Maybe you want to go for a bind, reaching behind your back and reaching your hands together. Fold. Help that leg long again. Bring the other leg up. Fold. Maybe going in for the bind. Straighten your back. Fold. Bringing that leg in and fold. And then helping your other leg in to reach it into cobblers again. Drop those shoulders. Flap those butterfly wings. Maybe taking a nice fold forward here. And back up. And we'll spit. Bring our knees to our chest. Hold them in. Drop your shoulders. Come up onto your tiptoes. Come into boat. Balancing. Our hands can be at our ears or at our knees. Knees can be bent or straight. Playing with your boat for a moment. And then hugging those knees in. Drop your shoulders. Walk your feet long. Coming into staff. Hands at sides. Strong body everywhere. And then we're going to roll backwards one vertebrae at a time. Slowly as you can down to the mat. Hands can be at heart center or reaching outward. Slowly coming down to our flat on the mat. And then returning slowly back up. Opening up our shoulders and our chest as we do. Hinging at our hips. Exhale, forward fold. And opening back up so that we can slowly ease back to the mat as slow as possible. Bring those knees into the chest. Roll it out. Grab anywhere you can, maybe opposite number elbows, maybe not. Feet together for quick cobblers if you like. And sleeping Garuda, eagle. So wrap those legs together, wrap those arms together, reaching for the sky, flat back, legs up the wall pose with Garuda, eagle pose. Switching the twist in the arms and legs and holding. Nice and strong. Maybe stop with just the legs up the wall flat. And then hug those knees into your chest. Bring your chin up to your knees and hold. Then we'll ease our way flat and slowly rolling our way up into seated position, into cross-legged. Left hand, right knee twist. Right hand, left knee twist. Do a little shoulder roll. Shake it out. Bring your hands out to a mudra and breathe. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.